we hit one of those kind of interesting positions that happens in this game. I've been sailing around. Blue grabbed all this immortal grease and is heading up this way. It stripped things away from red. We'll keep going from that, but let's see. Yellow, I don't know what they did. They're playing around in that market too. They bought some servo mechanisms. They're going to be continuing from there. That strips away some of what blue is going to want for its big old freighter. It's not going to be able to carry a lot of goods because of that. White is off on their own. They're hauling now a mulch line that they're taking to 5, and then they're taking their fare to their base, small ship. Red comes about and says, you know, I could haul 1 immortal grease. I went here, dumped my stuff, made a whole pile of money, 400 bucks. There's no factories or anything I could buy. I bought the space station there. What do? I mean, I could pick this sucker up and haul it up here. That's a nice quick 50 bucks. No bonuses because blue's getting there first. Or I can turn around and go back and make this run again, or else shoot over here, run down here, and or pick up stuff here and drag bionic perfumes here. It seems more reasonable not to follow blue because there just isn't a lot left. And that's one thing that happens. Areas, paths, potential routes get kind of eaten up. Not so much because of supply and demand type considerations as they would in, say, Star Trader. Rather just in terms of, hey, there is no more supply. I can't haul anymore. Supply and demand have an effect, but not in the sense of fixing the prices. They have an effect in the sense of it just ain't there. So it doesn't inflate the prices that you buy it at or whatever in any sort of sense. It just makes it so that, yeah, there's no more. You got to find a new route. You got to find a new path to run. And that's what Red's doing, is following up what other people are doing isn't going to work for them. They've got a fast ship. They can, you know, sort of jump out of the way. They also, though, have this jump start and a 4. Now, I can't take 6s to 4. So it's not terribly useful to me, but I could take 1s up to 4. I can't take 6s to 1s, I can't take 6s to 10s, so I have no real reason to pick up that grease. But I do have a lot of different options to think about on my next turn, about where I want to go. Which is, you know, one of the things, when you start getting these relics and certain options on your ships, you get more opportunities. A lot of people have been picking up these Nova Balls. Again, you know, they're cheap, they waste some money, and so far nobody's gone to anything. Red was considering, hey, maybe I should buy a fort here. I'll get $6 off the price. But forts don't help you towards winning. They don't give you any economic value. What they do is someone can try to start a revolt on you, and they can capture your holdings. That can be kind of a pain in the ass, to tell you the truth. And, well, we'll see if the game gets militarized, but if no one buys defenses, then it remains kind of an interesting option. You see somebody running ahead of you, hey, maybe it's worth spending a lot to steal something from whatever. But if they start buying defenses right away, they're probably going to lose any advantage they have. So again, you got to kind of balance it and say, right now, defensively, he has a +1 just for owning that, so, to the die roll. Somebody else has to spend $100 to make an attack. Now, some of that's on weapons fire. But, you know, chances are they're throwing money away. Let them do it at this point. Later in the game, it might be more important. Another thing that comes to mind, some of these players are hanging on to the IOUs. There's a few of them kicking around, I don't know. And I got to kind of keep an eye on those, because that's money, if you don't use it, you're kind of wasting. That's money that counts towards your victory conditions only if you can invest it and get it into cash. You have to either buy goods with it or buy a factory or something like that. Early on, you generally want those IOUs and you want to turn them into something, but if you can't spend the whole thing, you kind of feel, I'm not getting my full advantage from it. I'll wait till later and get that full advantage. Well, it does you no good if it's sitting in your space. So as the game goes on, and we're getting to the place where people are getting around $1,000, so there's sort of this arc, and then this point where it levels off, where you can't make much money. And in fact, we're getting to the point in the game where that starts dropping, because commodities are beginning to fall off. There's places where you can't get enough anymore. There's areas of the galaxy that are kind of tapped out. But still, you do want to keep in mind, hey, I got to visit these places before the game ends. That leaves kind of a problem where maybe it's better to take a slight hit, not spend every penny of an IOU, and turn it around early in the game rather than try to get every last dime from it. Swinging around again, blue's beginning to dump some of their, what is that? Immortal grease in here. Yellow. Shot up here. Mainly, hey, it's a place they can sell this stuff, turn it over quicker than they could have traveled there. Basically, the question was, do you want to go here or here? They'd rather have gone here, but they could land in this one. The dice worked out that way for them. So, take advantage of what they can. Over here, white slides into the 5 area. Sold is probably not going to buy. They're just going to ship their fare to the base and then grab these 3 fares and use them to help them direct where they're going to go. That looks kind of decent. 2, 4A, 9A. Well, where are those? I don't know. This is a pain in the ass to try to find everything. 2's up there. 4A is over here. That's real easy to get to. And 9A is over here. Now I can kind of shift through some of this and say, go here, drop off the fare, pick up some finest dust, drop it here. Just allow the passenger route to kind of develop, help me find other routes as I go without really worrying too much about it. I can also, while I'm here, pick up a new spaceship if I got the cash, and I should. There didn't seem to be a great use for the Melf pelts. There's a place where there's double demand for it, but I'm going to the base. I could only grab one. I'd have to waste a turn. Why not just pick these guys up? That's easier overall. And it doesn't count as buying and selling. So I can do that and trade in a ship and get kind of a bonus that way. It's a nice combination. The fares are kind of neat that way. Red. Red used their jump ability to jump into here, land here, built themselves this. They're going to get the finest dust. They're going to buy it over there. And there are a couple of places where finest dust is kind of cheap, or kind of has a bonus on it. So even if they end up going back here, this isn't really where they want to go. They kind of didn't want to land there before with the 1 Immortal Grease, but with 2 finest dust, it might be worth it. Maybe the servos will still be there, or new ones will be there, or something. Who knows? We'll see. Over here with black, yeah, now they did their special. They built another space station. But this is their home planet, so they got it kind of at a cheaper price. They got it for only $160 instead of the $200 that a station normally is. They're going to go up there and dump some stuff, make extra money. But it's always cool to be the home person on a planet. That gives you a bonus on the revolution die rolls. That's the kind of way that you attack fixed installations. It also, having a base here makes them more capable of hitting the humans here if they choose to. It gives them an additional +1. In addition to being the person who lives there for the die roll, it's per installation you have kind of in the system. So they could actually take over the human factory and steal it from them. When I said that people have about $1,000, I forgot, you know, this guy's got 800 sitting there. Now he doesn't have much more, and the value isn't too much more, but we are talking, we're over that already, I think, by a little bit. Green over here, what's he got? Oh boy. Green looks like he's bought up his 10s, he bought a factory there, and he's not sure where he's going yet. But getting the investment in the factory seemed like a good idea. Nobody's picked up anything there. He thought about the spaceport idea, but he was going to just buy and sell a lot of stuff on this one round. So he's already landed there. So rather than, you know, waste the advantage of being the guy who lands and gets the bonus at once, you might as well take it there as a whole. All right, around again. One of the problems with the big ship we're seeing with the blue, he's only got 2 things in it, high value stuff. Oh, I owe $50 to the Eeps because I bought their factory product. Probably shouldn't have. I make as much money off an extra servo mechanism, but, well, I'd rather keep more cash on hand because I'm having trouble turning things around perhaps. But this is the problem. I've only got 2 out of my 4 or 5, depending on how you look at that red drive. It could get ditched. Holds full. It's not that they aren't all available, it's that I don't have the cash on hand to buy them all anymore. And it's not like Blue's been building factories and spaceports everywhere. They just, you know, they made their one real cheap purchase, but when you start getting into the high-end stuff, it's tough to buy. They were 30 bucks short of being able to buy another servo mechanism, which means that's 100 bucks they don't make because of that 30 bucks they didn't have. And they'll be able to build up to it, but then there are places, for example, they would have been one short in their hold no matter what. Those big freighters are probably too big. I usually don't like buying them, but in this case, well, there was this advantage. I wanted to go for it, but they almost never pan out. Alright, so yellow's building up on something to haul somewhere. Who knows when it's going to get there. White, not only did they upgrade, grab all those fares, but they also upgraded to a clipper, get there quicker. Seems like a good idea. The gate lock isn't really a huge help for movement. The Spy Eye is running low. They may be selling that soon, but we'll see. For Red, their fast ship, well, they decided not to take the move here, instead just to do the purchases. I don't think it made any difference, to tell you the truth. They actually would have gotten a little bit extra money if they had gone here, so they wanted to. They had a roll that got them there. I don't know why I chose not to after I had paused for a turn here anyway and bought this. It's only $2 is basically the reason why they didn't want to go there. Over here, Black, you can see they picked up factory goods and the Impossible Furniture a little cheaper. They also upgraded their ship to a transport. Now, they didn't have enough money to fill all 3 holds. That's kind of an iffy choice there. But the thing is, it's hard to find a transport. You can only get them in the worlds that have this. There's 1, 2, I think. They're kind of a rarity. There's more of the fast ships around than the heavy ships. I like those heavy transports. I don't like the freighter with its 2 dice. 3 dice feels just about right, because the 4 dice for the Clipper feels like a little bit of overkill. Seldom do you really need that 4 dice, especially when you have some little gimmicks going on. Anyway, over here with Green, they sailed into here, made their delivery there. This is an open port, so it works like a spaceport. They were able to sell, buy everything on one thing. They still built a port of their own there. The reason being, they had a ton of money, and they want to invest it. And basically, you might as well. This will be a slight convenience for them with some bonuses for money. They're planning on hitting back into this, doing some back and forth trading here with this system. So it's kind of a neat thing there. And for other people, hey, maybe they'll want the convenience too and be willing to give a few bucks to Green for it. Worst comes to worst, you don't lose anything. You've got that $200 deed, with the one exception of the military rolls. Somebody could use them against you. All right, well, I'm going to keep going with this video just because, much as it's long enough already, I'm trying to keep the number of videos per game down to a minimum. And I figure if you're watching at this point already, still, you probably kind of want to watch them all. This next time around, I think White made kind of a mistake. They landed here, delivered their passenger, and bought a factory in the dribble glass. They got kind of a problem because 4s don't fit in with where they're going. They need to go to 2 and 9A. 2 is up here. 4 could get them if they kind of run through there, but they've only got 1 shield, so this would be an expensive trip. In order to deliver the 4 at the 7 space, and alternatively the 9A, there isn't really a good route. Again, through here is not terribly good. So they don't really want to get stuck with a commodity they can't drop. So they're going to have to try to maybe go through some hoops to drop that off. Maybe head down this way. Basically leaving it open to go here if they get a 5. But then what if they don't? Then they're shooting up and around. It could be very ugly. But Yeah, it looks to me like they want to get here, and oh god, yeah, they want to get into here too at the same time. That's just a tricky situation, or coming down this way and around. And 2 is even further away than they look here. There was another. This one goes to the base. This one goes to the base. Oh no, this one goes to 10. This one goes to the base. So picking up more passengers on the way doesn't look like a terribly valuable choice for red. They landed here, started selling off the finest dust. It was already at a bonus price. Didn't have enough cash to build themselves the space station there. Wynnum heading down. Drop things off here. They got a double load there, ready to hit. And then green had something interesting. Yeah, green got a crappy roll. They used the mulligan gear to get some more. But they're heading up here where there's a bonus on a demand for the bionic perfume that they're carrying. They're carrying just one of it. They've got an extra, the garden plants that's from their factory. Just basically trying to get that little extra out of here. It's about as far as this. The problem? Well, then this turns up that way instead of the little run that they were looking at, which was shooting here, back, here, and then up. That's what happens when I forget what I'm doing. Another time around, and blue managed to get a whole pile of stuff over here at a spaceport. A lot of money went into yellow's hands, something like $80 on that 10% commission from the sales, from the purchases. Boom, boom, boom. Passengers that came up over here do not create a commission. I didn't think they did, but I had to look that sucker up. Let's see who else is doing anything interesting. Yellow is kind of lost. Remember, they were trying to figure out a way to get here. Oh no, they don't really care about where they end up, but they have to find some place where they can sell those 9s, and they kind of got distracted in the clouds. They don't have any real bonuses there, and they ended up somewhere they don't really want to be. They got a 2 up here they could get to. The next thing is the 1 down here. They're really kind of lost, and that can happen when you try to navigate through the cloud if you don't have all the bonuses. White. Yeah, White managed to hit here. They landed on planet, and they should be selling that dribble glass, but the thing is, they decided, hey, if I've got to take another turn because I'm going to pick up some goods. Well, those goods disappeared from them, but they built a space station so that they could sell the dribble glass and buy stuff there. Turned out it didn't work well because red got the jump on them, so unless some new chips come out, they're not going to be able to pick up any cargo to replace the dribble glasses that they went there for. Red is slowly selling stuff there. They landed on the planet, and actually another slow. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like they're buying stuff. Oh, they bought the only remaining thing. They were sitting there on the planet. They sold their load, and they bought the only remaining thing. Yeah, they had the dust there. More dust demand showed up. Great. Too bad I didn't have dust instead of dribble glasses. Dribble glasses make a good profit, though. Black is the Wynnum. They finally made it into here. Now, they didn't have the cash to build another spaceport, so they're selling off their furniture. They'll be able to buy these Vol Silks, probably all of fill their hold with 3 of them, and then look for a place to sell them. They can turn them around and sell them up here. That's about it, really. Actually, I was screwed up. I was thinking that I could sell the 1s here. I have to do this journey with green, which is the next one, and that worked out fine. I'm not going to be carrying anything back. I did a big sale here at a Wynnum base, which gave some money to them, but now I have to come back, pick up the Psychotic Sculptures, head back here, get the Bionic Perfume, go back. A nice little triangular trade going, which is why I built this. Once it fails, although more perfume showed up, once and if it fails, I end up in a situation where then I can start taking mulch wine maybe out to the planet number 5. Alright, I'm going to load this one up. You know, it's just there's this tangled web of things, and I want to get them up before I don't know if I'm up for too many more rounds. I could definitely use a break. Alright.